so on.
The Department of Health and Human Services of the federal government was empowered by the Affordable Care Act, better known as Obamacare, to mandate that certain preventive services be provided without co-pays through employer health plans. A good idea in some ways. We can argue about how things get paid for and so forth, but the idea of preventing a disease before it happens is a sound one. However, the Department of Health and Human Services, HHS, has included a mandate that contraceptives and abortion-inducing drugs and sterilization be included as preventive services. Well, what do these things prevent? There's no disease prevented by contraception as such, or by abortion-inducing drugs, unless you consider pregnancy and childbirth to be a kind of disease, which is irrational and outrageous. I mean, that's G.K. Chesterton used to say that the Christian doctrine of original sin, the idea that there's something basically twisted and wrong in us that leads us in the wrong direction, that sort of leans us in the direction of selfishness, is out. It's the one doctrine that's easy to prove by anybody. I mean, there's evil in the world, there's evil in politics, and there are bad laws passed by our governments. People who recognize that evil for what it is, evil's large and small, have an obligation to do all they can to try to overturn that evil and replace it with the good.
Specific politicians were singled out.
I don't remember any specific politicians being singled out as evil.
Well, I mean, okay.
All I can do is speak for myself.
Sure.
I don't consider any human being to be evil.
I see, yes.
I don't like that idea. They have evil policies. They may do evil, but I'm very uncomfortable with the phrase, an evil man. No one is evil. Barack Obama's not evil. He does some evil things. I do some evil things. When we do evil, we repent. And when we see evil, we try in compassion to bring the good to bear to undo that evil.
Well, I mean, of course, it didn't come from you. There were a couple of speakers up on stage that actually talked about evil politicians. Yeah, I'll just put that across.
We can. A phrase can be parsed many different ways. Bill Clinton told us this. Not that I want to go down that path. But,
sure. I edit this stuff out, so I'm not here to.
No, in shorthand, you can talk about evil politicians in the abstract. But what do we mean by that? Politicians who are responsible for perpetrating evils in the world. Was Adolf Hitler an evil politician? I mean, to say yes is not going to raise anybody's eyebrows. But if we want to get real technical about it, theologically, no, he wasn't pure evil. He had some good in him, perhaps somewhere. But we still had to recognize that evil and fight against it with everything we got.
But I mean, the rally today was to tell people to vote for politicians that are pro-life.
It's really more broad than that. It's to bring their faith into the public square in every way that they can. So as an employer, as an employee, as a shopper, as a driver, as a churchgoer, as a neighbor, for your faith to be manifest, so that your faith matters, it makes a difference, it makes the world a better place. That includes politics, that includes election day.
Some of those accusations.
Well, recently, I think it was Cher, said that Congressman Todd Akin should be anally raped for his comments about the rarity of rape abortions and so forth that caused so much controversy. I don't, on the basis of that comment, whether it was Cher or somebody else, I'm not going to say that my friend Benita Ufsolano, who is here with the Illinois Choice Action Team, is therefore in favor of anal rape for people who disagree with her. We can't accuse those who have the same opinions as others who take the wrong course of condoning that. So, I really don't see any need for me to disavow the violence of some other so-called pro-life person, because the very fact that I'd be asked to do so, I think, is insulting. Not that you're insulting me. It's an issue. It needs to be talked about. But I think that applies to both camps. I mean, the fact that a pro-lifer was shot to death in Michigan a couple years ago doesn't mean that the pro-choice counter-protesters that we meet are therefore in favor of murdering pro-lifers. My organization is peaceful, always has been. We've been accused of fomenting violence. Those accusations are false. We make every effort to be peaceful, to be cooperative with the police, to be cooperative with our enemies on the other sides of these issues, and to get along with them. When I arrived today, I went over and said hello to the action team. So.